Alright, I got something kind of neat today. I've got my Enfield number 5 Mark 1 303 British jungle carbine. Zoom in, have you take a look at the stamp, which is pretty cool to see. Hopefully that will show up. This is an original, unrestored. It's been in the family since 1970. This was handed down to me from my father-in-law. Okay, and since I've owned it, I've added just one item: a custom-made buttstock cover. It's a buttstock cover that I made. I think I have it on one of my videos. I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out. It doesn't modify the gun permanently in any way. You can literally just untie this and take it. I don't want to do any permanent modifications. That would be like absolutely insane. I would never do that. But I do want to upgrade the optics. Right now we've just got the standard government issued optics on there, so nothing wrong with them, but we're looking to have the ability to you know, if need be, reach out and touch something you know, at a great distance. Okay, not that you couldn't practice quite a bit and really make this work. Okay, this is adjustable up to 800 yards. Yeah, so I'd like to be able to get a scope on there that will give me the ability to get some magnification, and you know, so I can you know, like I said, I may dabble in some long-range shooting you know, in the future. I've got a friend that's got a place that's got several hundred acres, and I'd like to get this out there and see, you know, test the accuracy. So what I did was I went out to eBay and I sourced a, looks like a new old stock unit here from B Square. Okay, this is supposed to be a unit that can be installed without modifying the firearm. According to the advertisement, this is supposed to do the trick. Okay, this is if you want to go and get one for yourself. I don't know if they're making these new anymore, frankly. This unit looks like it's been sitting on a shelf for 30 years or more. This is number 18 SMLE 564 Mark 1. SMLE, if you don't already know, stands for Short Magazine Lee Enfield. Okay, number 4 and number 5 mount, and in parentheses says here, no gunsmith. So after we install the B Square scope mount, okay, or rail, you could pretty much mount anything you want on there that will accept this type of rail. But what we're going to utilize here is we have a, just turn this around. We have a 6x24x50 scope with some illumination settings, red dot and green dot. These are available on Amazon and other retailers, but we purchased this I don't know, about a couple of years ago to use on another rifle. But I want to see how it works out with this rifle here. I didn't want to go out and spend additional funds. So I'm just resourcing this unit, and you can swap it back and forth. And okay, as you can see, I want to make sure that they would fit. I knew they would, but I didn't want to make sure they would fit without using any type of almost like a two-sided rubber tape, that type of thing. Sometimes I use that on the actual rings. But these were really tight, worked really well. Just out of the box. Okay, so these mounts, or these rings, came in the package with the B Square kit. All right, so they are included with this kit. All right, so that's everything. I'm going to go ahead and clean off my workbench. set up my gun vise and start by removing the factory OEM Alright, so you can see we've got our number 5 Mark 1 in the Tipton Gun Vise. Okay, it's locked down. Okay, we've got a chamois here to protect the front of it. Okay, I'm just a little I'm always very cautious with the firearm that's in this condition, okay, to make sure that it's protected from any, there may be a rough spot or rough edge, I should say, on the plastic. Alright, so I could scratch the finish, so just use a little care, take your time, something like this. Alright, so what we're going to start is, we're going to zoom in a little bit so you can get a better view. Okay, so you can see we've got the factory sight. Okay, we're going to remove that. All right, so that's pretty straightforward operation. You may need, depending on how good your vision is, you may need a set of magnifying spectacles. These are 325s. Okay, so this is what I use whenever I'm doing delicate work such as this. Okay, you can see, we're going to pan in, and you can see that there is a set pin. Okay, there's a set pin right here. Okay, you can see this set pin. It's going through a hole. Okay, it is wedged into a channel that you can see here. The channel gets shallower as it goes down. That way, it will apply pressure to the pin. Well, it's actually wedged in there. And what you need to do is you need to drive that pin out before you can remove the pin that the sight pivots on. Okay, you can see the sight pivots on this pin. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to move the safety in the rearward position to get it out of the way. Okay. If you feel like you need to, you can remove it if you don't want to scratch it. In lieu of removing the safety, I'm just going to put a little piece of tape over it just to protect it. I'm not going to push it on there very hard. I don't want to remove any of the finish. I'm sure I wouldn't, but just want to make sure. Okay, and then we're going to take our, and we're just going to set it underneath here like this. Use a small jeweler's hammer and just drive that pin up and out. You can see that, it just moved right up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in a very sharp awl. And, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in a very sharp awl. Okay, and I'm just going to see if I can move that pin a little further out. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. Alright, that's just about out. So before that falls, what I want to do is I want to take my stat here and grab a hold of it, because this locks when you grab it, and then just lift it the rest of the way out. There you go. Okay, so at this point we have the pin removed from this dowel, and so we should be able to just apply pressure, a little downward pressure on the sight itself, and move that, put a little pressure on that dowel and just move it out. There it goes. Okay, I'm just going to bring the camera around so you can see what's going on here. Okay, alright, so you can see it coming out over here. Keep downward pressure with the one hand on the sight, and then pull the dowel out with an unthreaded screw out. I'm just twisting it as I remove it. Okay, I'm keeping downward pressure because there's a spring underneath the sight. You can see I just took it out with a pin. I'm sure that there's a technical name for this. Okay, but basically what this does, not basically, what this does is it keeps pressure on the sight. Okay, so when you're positioning it in the down position or up position, keeps pressure on it, so it almost creates like a stop, or it creates a stop. It creates stop points. Okay, which there's really only reason why I keep pressure on down, so it doesn't just pop out and get away from you. Okay, you don't lose any of the components. So just lift out the pin, the stop, and the spring, and set that aside with the other original components. Okay, so although you don't have to remove the bolt, I'm going to remove the bolt because I want to be able to show you the inside of this screw over here. Okay, this screw here is going to be removed to install the mount. Okay, and the kit comes with a couple different screws, a couple different lengths, so you want to make sure you use the right length. All right, so especially you particularly do not want to use the screw that's too long. All right, that would interfere with the action of the bolt. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to remove the bolt, just in case you're not familiar with that process. So you just want to move the bolt forward a little bit. You want to depress this stop, move that back, release it. That'll allow the extractor to move forward or move up and align with the slot, and then you can just slide it right off. Okay, that's it. You want to make certain, I didn't mention, you want to make certain that your safety is off or forward. Okay, so slides right out. Okay, so at this point we're going to remove this front screw. You see how short that screw is. Okay, it's very, very, very important. The length of that screw is very important. Okay, so looking at this firearm, got some bluing that's missing. Okay, so like I mentioned, there's some bluing missing. No, it's not a big deal. It might not even show up, but we are going to just, might not even show up after that. New mount is on there, but you know what? I don't care. I'm going to clean the area good. Alcohol swab. Let that dry. And we're going to just touch it up a little bit with some super glue on this rag and just dab it on there. There you go. That looks pretty good. I like the way that looks. Much better. To correct that small scuff, we just use some Birchwood super glue. Okay, liquid gun blue. This stuff works fantastic, and we highly recommend it, especially for well, really for any size project. We've used this product on many projects to date, and we just used it again on our Enfield number 5 Mark 1 Jungle Carbine. Okay, did a small little touch-up. Okay, at this point we're going to open up the box. See what we've got here. Okay, we've got the rail mount. Okay, it says B Square. Not really the coolest name, but okay. I'm fine with it. Name of the company. Nice rail mount. Aluminum. Let's check it. Yeah, definitely aluminum. Okay, and we've got a bag of components, and we have instructions. Oh, pretty straightforward here. Dovetail base, attaching pin, attach pin clips. Okay, those are like C clips. Ejector screw. That's the one you have to be very careful about. It comes with a 8x36 by ½ inch and a 3/8. Probably going to use the 3/8, I would think. And an ejector screw washer. Okay, make sure the gun's unloaded. Very, very important. Of course, you could see that our firearm, we had dropped the mag, unloaded it. We even removed the bolt action. Okay, so you can see, here's the instructions. It pretty much looks about what I did. Let's just take a look here. Move gun's rear sight pin, drive pin, cross pin. Oh, they call it a cross pin, up. Then drive it out. Then drive out sight pin. Remove ejector screw. Okay, we did that. Place. Okay, so that's it. All right, so we did all of that. And you can see they don't even talk about removing the action, the bolt action. But I want to do it because I want to show you that screw. All right, so we'll set the instructions aside. Open up this bag of goodies. Dump that out. It comes with all the tools. Okay. Make sure we got everything. We do. Set that aside. Okay, so we've got the new rear pin or sight pin, sight dowel. We've got 3 hex head wrenches. We've got the 3/8 screw, and the other, here you go, here's the second clip, C clip. I call them C clips. What do they call them here? Pin clips. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start by placing the base on the rifle. Let's see, the nice snug fit. You know what? We're going to put a little bit of oil. We're going to put a little bit of lubrication. 2 points here. Use some gun grease. Got some gun grease by Weapon Shield. Take a little dab of that, and we are just going to hit these two points here, and here. Actually, we'll dab on the inside over here too. So there you go. Should help it slide right on. Almost home. Let's just tap it a little bit. There you go. Excellent. All right. Next, we're going to take the pin, and we are going to move that through. Go. All right, so I've got my C-clip in my rheostat, okay, and so I don't lose it. Very tiny, and we're just going to fit that right over. Pop that right in. There you go. Take the rheostat off. Go. Okay, that's why I use one of those. For small parts, you can't beat it. Make sure it's seated. It is. Okay, so next we're going to install the front screw. This is the 3/8 ejector screw. Okay, so it's the shorter of the two screws. Also, the kit also came with a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch would be too long. Pick up on the mount base a little bit. Okay, the threads are perfect. Okay, let's get the correct tool in there. That is not it. There we go. We'll turn that in. There we go. We'll just put that down to about 6 pounds. Okay, nice. Well, that installation was very, very, very easy. Very easy. Okay, so got the rifle turned around, and I've got a spotlight on the inside of the magazine area because I want to show you what I was referring to earlier about that screw. Okay, here's what they call the ejector screw. Okay, this is the screw that we took out on the side and the front. Okay, and you can see that this screw length they gave you, the 3/8, is perfect. It doesn't protrude at all on the inside. Okay, so that's what I was referring to. You want to make sure it doesn't protrude, because then that would cause an issue. Okay, and cause the rifle to malfunction. Okay, so the longer screw that they included would not work with the number 5 Mark II, number 5 Mark I. All right, so you may be needed for other rifles, other applications. I'm not sure, but for this, the 3/8 screw is the one you want to utilize. Okay, so we're at that point. We've got the mount base installed. Everything's functioning perfectly. We checked everything, the action. And now it's time to install or mount our scope. Okay. There you go. Installation is complete. Looks really, really good. Very, very, very satisfied. Action functions as it should. Scope's not in the way at all. That's excellent. Safety functions perfectly. No interference from the mount. Tell you what, they did a great job on this mount. Thrilled. The only thing that I would say, and this is really very minute, very critical, is just the coloring of the mount itself. It's kind of a, I'll say, like a purplish. I'm really a big fan of the way it looks. I think it'll probably show up a little bit purple. It's not a big deal. at all. It just might be because of the due to the age of the parts. I think these parts are very old, even though they're brand new. Yeah, kind of almost like a purple sheen. So what I'll probably end up doing ultimately is after I test everything out, I'd like to test it out on a range, make sure everything functions as it should. Probably take this all down and match the probably, because it's aluminum, can't blue it, so probably just clean them up and refinish to match the scope itself. Alright, so we're just going to clean up everything, clean up the workbench, and bring the rifle back post installation, and just give you a final review. So I was looking for a no gunsmithing, no modification solution for my jungle carbine, my Lee Enfield number 5 Mark 1, and I definitely found it. Okay, so did a little research, found a new old stock unit from a company called B Square. Not even sure, frankly, if they're around anymore. Hopefully they are, because the product that they built or provided is incredible. And so the installation was very straightforward, very easy. If I wasn't filming it, the whole thing probably would have taken me about 15 minutes. Okay, I took my time. I repaired a little bluing underneath the where the rear sight pin was. Showed you a couple things, couple tips, couple tricks. Hopefully this video was very helpful. Hopefully it'll help you to get to a point where you can feel comfortable doing your own installation. Okay. Now I've got a rifle that's multi-purpose. I can use it for long range acquisitions, and I think I'm really excited about going out there in the field and testing it. So hopefully we're going to go out there. We'll be out in the field sometime in early to mid-December, and we could put this rifle through its paces and this scope setup. Should have no problem reaching out 800 yards with this unit at this point. It's what it's designed for. Scope should give me good visibility out to 800, maybe even more. Listen, thanks for watching. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch our videos. If there's any questions you have, any suggestions that you have, please post them in the comments. And if there's anything we can help you with, please make sure to let us know. Thank you, and have a great